Hello, welcome to Access. I'm Rob. Joining us today is Randy Varnell from Gearbox Software. Really good to meet you, Randy.
Thank you very much.
I've just had my first hands-on with Battleborn, which is, well, I'll let you tell people what it is. Who are the Battleborn? What's their story?
Well, the Battleborn, if you want to start with story, they are heroes at the end of the universe, where the universe has been diminished down to one star left. At the hands of this vicious, evil enemy, the Varelsi, who have crawled in from another universe and eaten all of our stars, right? So the Battleborn are these heroes who have been able to move their civilizations back to orbit this last star, Solus, and now they're fighting a desperate last defense to save the entire universe.
Talking about the characters, though, you mentioned you've got a big cast.
We do.
I didn't know this before today. Many people, I'm sure, don't know it, but there are 25.
25
characters that you can choose from.
We are absolutely and utterly insane. Let me tell you that. Yeah, when we did Borderlands before, Gearbox has always been really interested in these cool character-based games, and we did a lot of Borderlands and Borderlands 2, Borderlands pre-sequel, all which featured I think 4 to 6 characters. If you got all the DLC and all of that. We got really excited about making characters, and we ended those games with so many new ideas. We knew we just had to kind of blow the lid off this character promise idea. So at the beginnings of Battleborn, we're like, what if we just made a game that really had a lot of different characters, and let's come up with a universe that can let us explore all sorts of different things. Like melee combat was something that wasn't really a part of Borderlands, but in Battleborn, we jumped right in there. We get to go back to fantastical characters. You saw Thorn, the elf with a bow, and Boulder, the dwarf with an axe and shield, in the same combat space as kind of Oscar Mike, our standard shooter guy, and then Arendi, the 4-armed magic-throwing chaos witch. So yeah, 25 characters, all sorts of different combat styles.
Yeah.
That's very, very critical to this game. And like I said, I think we're nuts, but we're going to deliver. It's coming along.
Was it also maybe a response to, because I know quite often now with shooters and pretty much any genre of game, people love to put their own personal stamp on how they play, and everyone has a unique play style.
Sure.
Is that having 25 characters, is that a response to that kind of culture of we want to make sure everyone can play this game how they want to play it?
It is, and look at what's really popular right now. I mean, we have these big cast superhero movies now, the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy that have come out, and we're all loving these vibrant casts. But that kind of experience is really great in a shooter game. You looked at cooperative today, but when you get into competitive, being able to look at a character, and even if you've never met that character before, looking at them and say, I can kind of guess how they would move or how they would fight and all of that. It not only adds kind of those good tangible handholds for you learning how to play, but in competitive is really great communication for saying, oh, I can see how that character is moving and how they're dashing and dodging and what their weapons they're holding. I bet that's going to be a ranged character. I bet that's going to do big explosive damage and all of that. So yeah, a lot of factors went into the decision for characters, but also, again, I'll go back to the point, we just love characters at Gearbox. We love inventing new characters and new ideas. It's one of the most fun things to do as a designer.
I'm not going to ask you to go through all 25 of them, obviously, but are you able to give us an example? I don't know, pick 5 and 5 different ones, and just take us through some of their abilities and how it changes. Because I played through the demo 3 times as a different person.
Oh wow, good.
And it really did feel like a completely different game almost every time. Once I was a mushroom. I'm sorry, I've forgotten the name of the mushroom.
Miko.
Miko the mushroom, and with his healing powers. And
well, in fact, let me start with Miko, because Miko's a great example. When we're looking at varying the play style now. Every one of the characters, regardless of whether they're an offensive, a defensive, or a support kind of specialist type of character, has some ability to do some damage. Even Miko, throws the knives, the kunai, and has the ability to throw this big spore bomb that can stun and poison enemies. But Miko, you can hold down one of your trigger keys, and Miko is just that heal beam. You can attach yourself to another character, and you can just keep them healed. So if you're working with someone who's bigger and tougher, I'll go with Montana next as an example. Montana, I don't know if you saw him in the day, but Montana is this massive, I guess he's human. He's like 3 times his size, and his shoulders are as big around. I mean, like twice as big. I think if you and I hugged, his arm is as big around as us hugging. So that's. And he's a huge guy. He's more of a defensive character wielding the big minigun. He's not got a great range, but man, up close, he's really lethal. You get Miko behind him, and he's almost unstoppable. So you mix those two up with, we have a couple of melee characters in the mix. One of the favorites is Wrath.
Now, I played as Wrath.
Yeah, you played as Wrath, and he's the degenerate We kind of call him internally the vampire samurai. You know, he's got these great two swords and really great kind of action sword combo in the play. But as like many of the generate, he has some lifesteal. So you can, when you customize him out, a lot of the way he recovers health in that close quarters combat is by attacking. See, and what's another? Oh, Caldarius. You got to talk about Caldarius, because Caldarius is a really great description of kind of mobility in our game. He's the jetpack shock trooper. In Caldarius, he has, you know, like the submachine gun, the TMP in one hand, and a sword in the other hand. So he's all about hit and run. So he has a dash, but when he unlocks his ultimate ability at level 5, it's this jetpack. He dashes up in the air, the camera pulls out the third person, and you can aim around, you can find that great shot, and then slam down to the ground and do a lot of damage. So that's 4. I mean, I could go on, but I don't want to take up all your time today.
That's good. That's good.
A lot to talk about.
One of the things that struck me straight away with it was the art style. And like it's very cartoony, very vibrant and vivid. And I noticed I really like the explosions as well, how they were kind of like drawn almost. And
we have keyframe hand drawn each. It's lovingly drawn. We actually worked with a classic animator. Michel Gagne, who worked with Don Bluth Studios and all of that, and he's come and worked with our art department to develop a whole keyframed, hand-drawn style of that, really just to accentuate that. Yeah, but coming up with a different kind of imaginative, fantastical style has been really important to us. Again, if you really want to suck the marrow out of the bones of that character variety that we can come up with, you need to be able to exaggerate. You need Montana, who's a mountain, and you need Miko, who's a weird mushroom with a head. And being able to exaggerate both proportion and the style and the color and the art lets us really explore a universe in a really imaginative and hopefully memorable way.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Randy, for talking to us. The game's looking awesome. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as we'll have loads more videos coming up soon.